say so all the time, and I say all the time. So let's like. Are you kidding me? I made the bed and you.
A good Saturday morning, everyone. It is 6:52 a.m. I've been up since about 4 a.m. and then awake off and on before that because we have a sick little one in our midst at home. So, sorry, there's people. I'm sitting in the parking lot of Walmart right now. We have my oldest daughter is sick right now, like sick. Started with a sore throat, and we thought, oh, 'tis the season, but now she's got like a fever, and it's a whole deal. So I am here bright and early to pick up some things for her to help her be more comfortable. And you may ask, why would your husband not go? Like, it's the wee hours of the morning. I have anxiety. Hi, like if you know that if you've watched this channel. I have it pretty bad when it comes to illness, which I feel so guilty as a mom because I struggle sometimes when my kids are sick, not with taking care of them. Like, it's more just my anxiety level like spikes, and so I'm trying to hide it from them and everything. And so it's just, all of that being said, it's nice for me sometimes to be able to step out for a minute and take a breath. I've mentioned this in a past video a while ago. I think it was talking about ADHD and anxiety maybe. This was a long time ago, but I briefly touched on the fact that I used to suffer from emetophobia, which is like the fear of like throwing up or vomiting. Like me, other people, like it doesn't matter. Particularly it was bad when other people would get sick. I have come a really long way. I wouldn't even consider that I have a phobia of it anymore. But if there's any chance that somebody in my house or in my vicinity is going to throw up, like, my anxiety just still skyrockets. So somehow I've gotten away with neither of my kids ever really, like, getting a stomach bug in their life, which is crazy to me. But my daughter is suffering with nausea right now, and I feel so bad, and so one of the things I'm going to pick up for her is to help with that. But just all the more reason why it kind of helps for me to take a minute, step out, breathe, collect myself, and, go back and be able to be the best mom I can be. So if you're like me and you suffer with anxiety and you find yourself sometimes needing to just step away from situations so you can do what you need to do, don't feel guilty about it. I sometimes struggle with that, but my husband's understanding, my kids are understanding, and you do what you need to do to be there for the people that you love or you need to take care of. So anyway, that's what we're doing today. Walmart, here we come.
These make shoes. I feel like I might be too tall, but we'll see. Why do I do this after I've started recording? It seems pretty dumb. Excuse you. Alright, so I say so all the time, and I say all the time. So let's like. Are you kidding me? I made the bed and you. Caught you. Everyone's gonna know the truth. I do make the bed, and a lot of times, I don't always make the bed, but I do make the bed a lot of times, and then you mess it up. So if you haven't been able to tell, this is a different day than the beginning of this vlog. This weekend went very slow yet quick. That makes sense. It went very slow because my oldest was sick. Do you mind? My oldest was sick. She's very prone to getting fevers. She got her flu shot this year, which I would advise everyone to do. I know flu shots, like for a long time I didn't do flu shots. But I swear, at least in my family, it seems to really make a difference. So we went to our movie night and she had a sore throat and I'm like, oh, well, maybe we shouldn't go. So we went. It's so hard to make those calls sometimes as a mom. So we went, and when we got home, like, she just didn't look like she felt great. I took her temperature. She had a small fever. So I got right on it, and she woke up multiple times at night, and in the morning she was like practically just a zombie. Like, she was very, very lethargic, and her temperature at one point got all the way up to 103. So my whole weekend, needless to say, was spent trying to keep her temperature down, keep her comfortable, keep her feeling good. It's so hard when your kids are sick. So you do all this, and then you're just gonna go sleep over there. You're not even gonna sleep over here. There, I cover you up. That's what you get. So she was sick with a fever, and we were fighting that all Saturday. And I was all geared up for like another bad night on Saturday night. I'm like, it's gonna be a long night. And she slept the whole night and she woke up with no fever. I have never seen my oldest daughter get a fever that high and have it gone in a day. She was so miserable. I couldn't believe it. And I have to think that a lot of that has to do with the flu shot, because I didn't do anything differently as far as how I took care of her. So while my oldest was sick, I had sort of a meltdown. The biggest reason why is I have anxiety. Like, hi, if you're new here, I have had it my entire life. I think I talked about this on Saturday morning when I was at Walmart, didn't I? I did. I know I mentioned this. So just kind of piggybacking off of that, as I mentioned, I have anxiety. I had emetophobia. I don't consider what I have anymore to be an actual phobia, but it definitely like amps my anxiety up. And one of the things that my daughter was going through was feeling really nauseous, because when you have a fever, that can happen. So that just kind of made my anxiety, which was already there because my kid was sick, even higher. And I feel like I held it together all day and the day went good, but just seeing your kid sick, I don't know. Basically, let's just get to the point. I had a breakdown, a meltdown at the end of the day because I just felt like a garbage mom. I know that I'm not. I was doing everything I could to help my kid be comfortable and to feel good. So it wasn't really what I was doing or what I wasn't doing. It was more what was going on up in here. Can anybody out there relate to that? I know a lot of parents feel like, I'm not a good enough parent, my kids deserve better. But literally, I feel like with the anxiety, the level of anxiety that I get, I don't let it cripple me. It makes doing my job as a mom a lot harder. And I just had a moment where I felt like, why did God entrust these amazing, beautiful kids to me, when a lot of times I feel like I don't deserve them because my anxiety, I shouldn't have to worry about anything except, oh, my kids are sick, let me do everything I can to make them feel better. Not go into this state of like just such high anxiety that it's hard to function, and then it leads to meltdowns. Like, my breakdown was more just like there's so much pent-up, built-up anxiety from just the day of my kid being sick and worrying that I had an actual breakdown. And that, I think that's one of the differences. It's not just I'm worried my kid's sick. It's really hard to explain. Anxiety can be really hard to explain. But rather than just like a normal nervousness over your kid being ill, it's like an absolute, like, just everything in my body is just like worried. I want to do this justice because I know there's a lot of people out there who feel this way too and can't put words to it. I want to put words to it. It's like my anxiety and my ADHD are like let's combine and make this the most miserable time ever. So rather than just worrying about, oh, my kid's fever is still pretty high, at least it's coming down. Like, I think all those things. I try to be optimistic. I try to make the best of every situation. Like, oh, it's back up to 103.2 again, but the medicine's at least bringing it down, so let's give her next dose of medicine, and oh, look, it's coming down. So all of those things do go through my head. But with the anxiety, I could say those things out loud, but in the back of my head, there's a million other negative things that are going through my head. such as, I wonder if she's still feeling nauseous because if she throws up, I don't know if I can handle that. What if I can't get her fever down and I have to bring her to the ER? That'll be okay, but we're in a new state and the ERs around here, I don't know how they're gonna be. I went to the urgent care and it was really kind of unsettling and a lot busier, and it's not the same as we're used to, so it could be a more traumatizing experience if I have to take my kid to the ER. What if she has to miss school on Monday? That could give her more anxiety, or give her anxiety about having to go back to school, because what if she feels sick when she's at school? That's how I used to think when I was a kid. Top priority needs to be not getting my youngest sick. What if she gets sick and she's sitting kind of close to my oldest and I probably should get her to move away, and oh great, she's touching this and she hasn't disinfected her hands. Okay, she should probably move over here and not touch sister's blanket. I need to make sure that I don't get sick. I honestly don't care, but honestly if I get sick then I can pass it on to my youngest quicker, or I can give it to my husband and then he'll be sick and he'll be miserable and that will be my fault. I really hate seeing her so miserable. What if, I mean, she looks glassy-eyed. Like what if this is something worse than just the flu? What if this is something like strep throat? What if this is something like wrong with her organs and her body's just responding with a fever because there's an infection? What if her fever gets too high in the middle of the night? She's been okay during the day, but when we go to sleep, what if she has a seizure because her fever gets too high? Guys, it is constant and it's exhausting, and it leads, in my case, to often me having things like my breakdown that I had on Saturday night, because even when you're vocalizing like being positive, it's a constant just feed going on in the back of your head, and it wears on you. It's so exhausting. And so when I say breakdown, I mean I had a full like bawling, tears falling out my eyes, and then I felt guilty over that because it's like my kids deserve to have a mom who's stronger than this. And then I sit there and I'm like, because I do try to be an optimist, I'm like, but you have been through so much. Your husband has left deployments and you've been by yourself as a mom. You've handled so much. You've been living alone in Alaska with a new baby, not even 2 months old, and you handled that. I try to like build myself up, like you've handled a lot and that helps, but sometimes you just have to let the breakdown happen and then you collect yourself and you get it together, because crying and kind of losing it for a minute by just crying and having a minute to yourself to just let it all out can be very, very restorative. It made me feel weak for even doing it, which is wrong. I can tell everyone else that, but it's hard to get in your own head. Breakdowns are not necessarily a bad thing. They can be a very, very healing, good thing. So that happened this weekend, and as it turns out, Saturday night, she didn't wake up one time, and she woke up feeling great. As I mentioned, it was amazing, a huge answer to prayer. But I just thought it could be important to be honest about just how much I struggled with my kid being sick. And if you have struggles, you're not alone. It's not just the emetophobia past that I've had that definitely makes my anxiety heightened anytime anyone's sick with anything other than like a cold. It's like colds I can handle, but pretty much anything beyond that, with fevers in particular, really amp my anxiety. I think I've talked about this long enough, so I'm going to go take a shower, and then later on I'll probably see you guys when I take my youngest to the store. Today is the day she's going to get her Christmas present for her big sister.
What are you doing? She does. Excellent. Good job. Excellent. Totally covered.
Not on this side.
Well, yes, that part will be next. Oh shoot, what did I do with the tape? Oh, it's over here. Here, you hold this part. Or do you want to get the tape?
I'll get it.
Okay. Here, sticky part down. Good job. All right, here is the finished product. Just very simple. The way McKenna put it is it's boring with the brown. And I guess she told her teacher about it too. I hope it's not too boring.
All right, guys, I think I'm going to end this vlog here. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, see ya!